Golf Central on YouTube is brought to you by the new Chrome Tour golf ball from Callaway.
Hey there, this is your Golf Central update. I'm George Savaricas with Brandel Chambly and Paige McKenzie. Golf Channel on site at the WM Phoenix Open all week at the par 3 16th. The biggest storyline coming into this year's edition: can world number one Scottie Scheffler win this event for the third straight time? Brandel, amazing that he's put himself in this position. And do you think he's the favorite coming in?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's just so consistent. You know, look, he was 4 back when the AT&T was called. It wouldn't have surprised me if it had been played, if he'd have gone on and won. He's hitting it that good. His ball striking has almost not deviated. He's hitting it almost as good or just as good as he was last year. The putter's still a question mark. You know, I know he's working on things, Paige, but he comes in here pretty much in the same spot he was in last year, losing about a third of a stroke a day on the green. So still a big question mark for him.
It is, but as you pointed out in the show today, that he has putted well here.
Yep.
The other thing that he has done well is take advantage of golf courses that allow you to hit driver. And he's won 2 different ways over the last 2 years. It was not a mirror image of each other. In fact, last year was pretty wild off of the tee, but because it's not highly penalizing just off the fairway, he was able to get away with it. And I think given that his driver is a strength as well as, I mean, so many other parts of his game, that could certainly bode well for trying to get 3 in a row.
Scottie Scheffler goes off at 2:33 Eastern time. Historically, we've seen, call it 15 to 18 under a winner here. With the weather we have this week, the chill, any noticeable impact?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be soft. I wouldn't be surprised if they play lift, clean, in place. So you get some unusually, as we saw last week with Wyndham Clark shooting 60, lift, clean, in place. You get some unusually low scores under soft conditions in lift, clean, in place.
When Scottie has the putter rolling, he has a penchant for going low. We'll see what he can do Thursday afternoon at the WM Phoenix Open. And earlier, Scottie Scheffler was kind enough to jump by our set here on the par 3 16th. This was part of his appearance with Golf Today, and it was our co-hosts Eamon Lynch and Damon Hack who had the interview with Scottie Scheffler, the world number one.
Scottie, other than the fact that you're just good at golf, why does this event, with all of its nuttiness and craziness, speak to you so well?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it's a fun event. I love playing in front of a crowd like this, and it's a little bit of a unique test out here with the crowd. You know, getting booed's not something that usually happens too much when you're playing a regular tour event, but coming out here and playing in front of the fans, and it's a lot of fun.
What's your strategy on a week like this, Scottie? Do you embrace the theatrics, or do you tune it out? Or can you tune it out?
I don't think you truly can tune it out, but I try and stay in my own little world as best I can. You know, when you're getting booed, that's something I'm not going to try to embrace. But when you start holding putts and the crowd starts getting really into it, I think it's something that you embrace and, you know, just try and have fun with.
Scottie, do you nerd out a little bit and be a little kid when Larry Fitzgerald or Emmett Smith or Michael Phelps walks by? Is there someone that still gives you goosebumps, Scottie? Give me something.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a pretty unique program as well. You know, last year I played with Emmett Smith, and I definitely had some questions for him, and you know, I played with Glenn Powell today, and it's definitely different than a lot of the other pro-ams, but it's a lot of fun. You know, getting to meet guys like that. You know, great athletes. You know, great athletes like Larry Fitzgerald and then Emmett Smith. You know, getting to meet those guys and spend a little bit of time with them is a ton of fun. And you know, I always like to pick their brains, and so you know, I got some good advice from Emmett last year, and yeah, it's just a fun week.
What did he tell you? Wait, what did Emmett Smith tell you? One of the greatest running backs ever to put on shoulder pads.
Well, I just loved how competitive he was. You know, that's the thing that I noticed the most. Like, we're out there playing, you know, just a fun pro-am, and he's taking it seriously. He's getting the crowd into it, and he's trying to perform his best. And, you know, that's something that I try to embrace and, you know, do my best every day. And, you know, Emmett was definitely one of those guys that was doing his best at whatever he was trying to do.
We've had a bunch of guys come here over the years, Scottie, going for 3 in a row, including guys like Ben Hogan. But the only guy who's ever done it is Arnold Palmer. You could be the second guy to do it this weekend. How confident are you in being able to match Arnie in that achievement?
Well, I'm not really thinking too much about the end of the week. I'm just trying to get into the tournament, stick with my normal schedule, and just finish the pro this morning, and then head out and practice a bit this afternoon, and then go put my feet up this afternoon and get some rest. But anytime you can get mentioned in the same breath as Arnie would be really special. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to go out, and stick to my routine and my process, and just try and do the best I can.
You've been putting in a lot of work that you've talked about over the last few months in terms of your putting. What's been the most challenging or the most interesting part of that process for you?
Well, I think my hands are in a slightly different position on the putter, and so that's been a bit of an adjustment, but I've been feeling the benefits of that, pretty much, right from the get-go. And so being in the right position in the setup is really important, and I feel the ball, coming off my blade really nice. And then, mentally, I'm trying not to focus on whether or not the putt goes in, but, doing like I do with my full swing and just controlling the process and, making sure that, I'm controlling what I can control, and that's, hitting a quality putt. Outside of that, I'm not too worried about the results.
Scottie, you had an historically great ball striking year last year. What are you most proud of in how you handled the ups and the downs of 2023?
Yeah, it was definitely an up and down year. I had some highs and some lows, and some tournaments that I won that were really special, and maybe a few tournaments that I should have won and didn't. So you take the good with the bad, but I'm very proud of last year how I was putting myself in position every week to win tournaments, and definitely I was proud of how consistent I was.
We've seen some noise go around the last week or so, Scottie, where Rory thought live guys ought to have a pathway back with no penalty. JT and Ricky say not so fast on that. Do you have any particular view on what should happen to those players should they want to come back to the PGA Tour?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a complicated issue that I'm not, sitting too far on one side of the fence with that. I think there's, a different level of player that left. You had some guys that left our tour and then sued our tour. That wasn't really in great taste. And you had some other guys that just left and, they wanted to do something different. And everybody made their own decision. And, I have no bad blood towards the guys that left. But a path towards coming back, I think it wouldn't be a very popular decision. I think if they just came back like nothing ever happened, they did kind of leave and they left our tour. That's just part of it. And I think that there should be a pathway back for them. But, they definitely shouldn't be able to come back, just without any sort of, contribution to the tour, if that makes sense.
Do you have a sense that that's the majority opinion, that most of the players who stayed feel like there should be a waiting period or something for having left the PGA Tour?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is, but there should be something. I think that's going to be the opinion of most of the players that stayed. We remained loyal to a tour. A tour that was loyal to us. I built, my entire career here on the PGA Tour, and I wasn't, willing to leave it. I dreamt of playing on this tour, and, some of the guys that left, maybe that wasn't for them, but I think if they want a pathway back, that there should be one, but it definitely shouldn't just be coming back in, first week they want to come back and play. There should be some sort of caveat to them getting back on our tour.
Scottie, I want to leave you with this. You're playing great. You're going for 3 in a row. There's a big game on Sunday, Chiefs, 49ers. Who do you have and why?
I got the Cowboys. I'm a Dallas guy. Eventually they'll be in the Super Bowl.
Never give up.
I'm still holding out hope. They might still be playing on Sunday. I haven't quite given up yet, but we'll see.
Spoken like a true Cowboys fan, America's team. Have a great week as you go for 3 in a row, Scottie. Thanks for the time.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one. Appreciate it.